Hello, and welcome back to On the Daily. In this episode, we're going to talk about human design and we're going to talk about energetics. Everybody always wants to make more money, and everyone always says that they are manifesting more money this year. I'm manifesting more money this year. But I think we've gotten confused about the difference between the words hope and manifest. And so in this episode, I'm going to talk about both. And if you really are ready for 2024 to be your most profitable year, then this episode's for you. Hey, friend. Welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleary, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of Hype You Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. Hope and manifestation, very, very different things. We have kind of, though, gotten it very much in our head that they're the same thing. And this is where I want to start. So manifestation is 20% strategy and 80% energy. So it's mostly how you're thinking, and it's mostly what your subconscious mind believes to be true through the thoughts that you have most. And the other side of manifestation is the aligned action that you put toward that thing. And I see a lot of people who want to manifest something, and I'm manifesting, I'm writing it down, I'm visualizing it, I'm doing all the things, but then they kind of just sit back and take no action. They're not investing in programs. They're not hiring mentors. They're not making space physically for the things that they want. And then they get upset, and then they say that manifestation doesn't work. And this is where I go, well, that's because hope and manifestation are 2 different things. Hope is a lack. I mean, truly, if all you do is hope that you're going to be able to do it, I hope I can do that next year. I hope I can make that much money. I hope that happens. You're coming from a place of lack, because hope insinuates that you don't feel that you're worthy for it. And what you're hoping for is the feeling of being worthy. And the thing is, none of us ever had to earn our worthiness. Like, we are worthy just because we have a pulse. We are worthy because we breathe. We are worthy because we were born. And to say that you hope something happens says, I don't really believe that I am worthy of this, but I hope that that feeling comes. And that's not manifestation. Manifestation is knowing that it's coming, knowing that you're worthy of it, knowing that everything you want is already on its way to you, and it's just waiting for timing. And that timing is determined by, are you taking aligned action? Are you moving in the direction of the things that you want? What are you thinking about most? Are you writing in your journal that you're going to have $1 million cash year, but then you're staying up at night worried about it, or you're afraid to invest in a $10,000 mentorship container? Because those are not the same things. Energetically, those don't speak the same language, which is why your manifestations are not happening. I always tell people, like, my credit card bills every month would make most people vomit. And that's because I'm not worried about putting money on a credit card, because I know that what I'm moving toward is a multi-million dollar business. Like, I'm going to be a billionaire. I know that. Am I a billionaire yet? No, not physically, but I know it's coming. So I'm going to start making choices as if I'm moving toward that destination. And guess what? Because I take aligned action, I get everything I want. Every year we've doubled our income. Every year we've helped more people. Every year my clients' businesses get stronger. And that's because manifestation is not hope, and I don't treat it like that. And so where your human design comes into play is, this is about following your intuition. This is about saying yes to things that are yeses, no to things that are nos. I'm a generator in human design. I say no most often. And if I think about Danielle, the $1 million cash year earner, which is going to happen, we're going to fly past that in 2024. And when I think about that version, she doesn't say yes to anything she doesn't want to say yes to. She doesn't say yes to anything she doesn't have capacity for. And so I'm going to start making decisions from that place. I have sacral gut authority. So I follow my gut. And if my gut gets excited about something, I make sure all 10 toes are on the ground. And then I say yes. If something's not a full body yes, if I'm not getting that feeling in my gut that says, like, let's do this, I don't. Even if in the past I would have done it, even if in the past something else would have happened, if it's not a full body yes, it's a no. And depending on what your human design is and where your intuition speaks from, this is everything when it comes to discerning whether or not something is for you, whether or not the aligned action you're meant to be taking is coming from your ego or it's actually coming from intuition. Right? Your ego is going to try to stop you because it wants to keep you safe. And to your ego and to your subconscious and to the little person inside of you, safe means we're not trying scary things. But fear is the ultimate expander. If you can follow the fear and understand and discern whether it's actual life-threatening emergency or just the fear of success, if you can discern between those two things, then you can start becoming an energetic match for the money you want to receive, right? You cannot be an energetic match for the money you want to receive. You cannot be in receivership if you're constantly stressed about your bank account, if you're constantly worried about making more money. If you worry about making more money, you're not going to make more money. If you worry about investing in things, if you second guess the choices that you make financially, you're not in receivership for the money that you want to make. So you have to start putting yourself in that space of what would that version of you do and start acting like that. Everything is energetics, and we've become so addicted to our stress. We've become so addicted to our fight or flight that it's become normal for our body. When we feel stress, when we feel chaos, when we feel fight or flight, when we feel upset, anger, frustration, bitterness, when we feel those things, our body gets a chemical release, whether it's dopamine or it's cortisol. It gets that little hit in our body. And then that's why we stay so trapped in these patterns of wanting to make more money, but then not taking action to make more money, wanting to have better relationships, but then not trusting anyone. In order to have all the things that you want, in order for 2024 to be the most profitable year you have, you must be in receivership, which means you must be taking aligned action. You must be listening to your intuition, because God, source, universe, whoever it is for you, is not going to give you anything that you can't handle. So if your plate is too full, if you're saying, I hope I can do that, what you're saying is, I don't believe that's possible, but I'm looking externally to make sure to see if somebody else believes it's possible for me. That's not how you make your dreams happen. That's not how this becomes the most profitable year for you. The way it has to become the most profitable year for you is you have to be the one to know that it's possible. You have to stop hoping for things, and you have to start truly manifesting things with unwavering faith that it's going to happen, that it's on its way. And then you're going to take the action to get there. You're going to move through fear in order to make it happen. You're going to follow your intuition, the way your intuition was set up. So whether that's your gut, your emotions, your ego, your identity, the mental clarity that you can have, your spleen, wherever your intuition comes from, right? Reflecting on it, wherever your intuition comes from, you have to start listening to that, and you have to move through that fear, right? It's like we all put these imaginary walls up, but all we have to do is take a couple steps, and we realize that the wall was never there in the first place. We put the wall there and we imagined the wall there. Like, the thing about money that I wish people understood is money is only an energy. Money grows at the rate at which your frequency rises. And it's backed up by the action that you take to get there. So hope and manifestation are very different things. And if you're treating them like the same thing, that's why you're not making more money. If you're worried about making more money, you're not making more money. If you're worried about everybody, you're like, I trust my friends, I love my friends, but then you're like guarding yourself so tightly like a fortress. Well, that makes sense. It makes sense that you don't have the friendships that you want. It makes sense that you haven't met the business opportunities that you want. If you say that you want to get out there, but you're not posting on social media and you're not showing up authentically on social media, that's not taking aligned action towards growing your network on social media. And I'm not saying you have to show face. There's plenty of people that don't show their face. I'm saying you're not being consistent. Consistency is an action. It's an aligned action that's going to get you closer to the things that you want. So if you want this to be your most profitable year, you have to start taking action toward it. And not safe action, because if it feels safe, it's too small. Remember, I said that in a past episode. If it feels safe, it's too small. But you can't say, I want $1 million year and then be afraid of investing $10,000. That math ain't mathin', right? Like the energetics of it are not there. And your intuition is guiding you and you're ignoring it, which means that God, source, universe, your higher self can't give you what you want because you have no space for it, because you're not in receivership mode. I hope this is helpful. I will see you in the next episode. And if you have not signed up for my masterclass, Daddy Issues, we're talking about generational trauma. We're talking about all these things that a lot of what we're talking about in this episode, a lot of like all these patterns and these loops and these feelings that we have about money, they don't just come out of nowhere. They come probably from our past. And in this masterclass, I'm really going to show you how to release them once and for all. So if you haven't signed up for that, click the link in our show notes and I'll see you next episode. Bye.